Hey everybody, if you'd like to support the show, uh, just click the link to PayPal or sign up on Patreon, and you can contribute financially, or just give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. That also helps the show. All right, back to you, NANABOOZHOO. Getche manado, daga widuka wishin, ando minoe nungum. Great Spirit, please help me to speak well today. Getche manado, miigwech ka iji ka kina gegu, ka iji chikean nungum. Great Spirit, thank you for everything that you do today. Getche manado, miigwech ka iji we bak, miigwech ka iji gijaguk, miigwech ka iji bimadaziyan. Oh, what? I said, Great Spirit, thank you for the weather. Thank you for this day. And thank you for my life. Getche manado, miigwech bizandawieg, ni anama e nungum. Great Spirit, thank you for listening to my prayer today. And that's probably good enough. Today, I just want to put a little plug. Grief Relief by Michael Lyons. Michael Lyons is a cartoonist and the creator of this show. And he wrote and illustrated a book a couple of years ago called Grief Relief. And this is what it says on the back. Stephen A. Leon, Ace Frehley, and Jagog are back. This time, the space travelers investigate the issue of grief. Jagog's grandmother has passed away, and the little skunk is terribly grief-stricken. Oh, the guys consult the ship's computer to learn about the 10 stages of grief. I thought there were only 5. And offer assistance to their earthling friend. Grief Relief. And it's a really sweet comic book that I don't think it really offers like how to get over. I mean, maybe it does, but it just kind of tells you what to expect. So in Ojibwe, I think we would call grief Gashkenda Moen. Like grief relief could be Gashkenda Moen Gage. A healing from your sadness. And who can tell me what grief is? Is it different than depression? Yeah, Anamosh. Well, boss, I'd say grief is a deep sadness from loss. A loss of any kind. It's like a heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, that's good. That's pretty good. Here we have it. Grief. Grief is, I mean, there's no kidding. I mean, there's no getting around it. It sucks. Grief is the worst. Most people would rather have physical pain than grief. Grief is that deep, deep sadness that occurs after you lose something. And it can be, it can be a loss to death. It can be, you can have grief over a loss of anybody. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. It can be a pet. Some people have grief when they break up or they go through a divorce. Or even sometimes just missing the good old days. People can have a sense of grief for missing, like if you move away from a place and you're sad for a while because you lost. But most people can handle, moving away. Actually, most people can handle everything. We're not really that weak. But most people, at some point in your life, you're going to experience grief. Like Charlie Brown. Oh, good grief, Charlie Brown. But I say, what's good about grief? What's good? What's good? What's good about good grief? Heartache, heartache. That's what it is. It's heartache. You've lost somebody. And now you're left with grief. So in grief relief, I don't think Michael's going to tell you, oh, here's how to get over it. It's mostly the 10 stages of what to expect. From shock to denial to whatever. And it's all illustrated really beautifully. And Stephen, the alien's in it, and Ace Frehley. I'm not sure how that works with copyright, but that's in it. So, I don't know what I need to say about this. Are you experiencing grief right now? Grief is one of those things that'll come and go, There's varying waves of it. One thing I learned is there's no timetable. There's no inappropriate or appropriate stage of grief. Yesterday, Jerry Jeff Walker passed away. And he was the guy who sang Mr. Bojangles. And there's a line in there that, brings tears to my eyes. It says, and so it's a story about meeting Mr. Bojangles in jail, right? And Mr. Bojangles is this dancer. And in the song, he talks about how Mr. Bojangles would talk about traveling the South. He would dance for those at minstrel shows and county fairs. And he spoke with tears of 15 years how his dog and he would travel around. See, I'm getting choked up. But my dog up and died. 20 years later, he still grieved. Mr. Bojangles grieved for his dog. 20 years after his dog died, he still grieved. And so, that's just to sort of illustrate. There's nothing wrong with, some people can grieve. In the Anishinaabe way, they say, don't cry for 3 or 4 days after somebody starts their journey, because that person will be worried about you and they won't want to leave. They'll linger around because they're worried about you. So you got to suck it up. And then after 3 or 4 days, you can begin grieving. And the reality is you'll be grieving immediately. But you hide it so the spirits don't hang around. But then for some people, it's like, oh, geez, I had a really bad weekend. So-and-so started their journey, and so I grieved for 3 or 4 days. But for some people, it can be 3 or 4 years. It can be 20 years if you're Mr. Bojangles. And so there's no timetable. But the important thing, so here's my advice for the kids. Let's say you lost your dog. Let's say little Rover started her journey. Her? Would you name a girl dog Rover? Seems like a boy name. But anyway, let's say your dog dies. And oh wow, your heart's just broken. I don't know if there's a cure for it. I mean, there's relief for it. you can heal a little bit. But two things. First of all, just recognize it, face it. Don't try to avoid it. Don't go out there and get drunk and go, oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine, I'm happy, I don't care. Just recognize, oh wow, my heart's broken. And then pray, put out some tobacco, give it to Kichimanadu. Say, hey, you know what? I'm hurting. Help. We do wishin, help me. And then, go for a long walk. Go for an hour-long walk every day for 5 days. And cry. I get myself worked up just thinking about it. Ah, crap. Now I can't use this video. I don't know. How long was this? Oh, it's already pretty long. Okay, maybe I'll post this. Grief Relief by Michael Lyons. Available now in Amazon stores everywhere. I want to say miigwech bizandawiag. Thank you for listening. And thank you for watching. Miigwech ganawabiag. BOOZHOO! NANABOOZHOO. Podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minowa. Oh.